Are you dealing with the trials of a difficult marriage or going through a separation or divorce? Welcome to the club, friend. Life is messy and it can be hard. I'm Jen Zingmark, a Christian life coach, and I have good news for you. There is a path to find hope, healing, and happiness, no matter what your circumstances are, and I can help you find joy in your journey. So let's go. Marriage support and divorce coaching may not be needed by you personally, but almost everyone knows someone dealing with the trials of this difficult journey. Please share this podcast with someone you know who might be dealing with the challenges of divorce or a difficult marriage. The tools that I have are life-changing. And I know this because I have experienced this in my own life, and I have seen it in the lives of my clients. And I want to share these tools with everyone that can benefit from them. Welcome back, friends. Last week on the podcast, I talked about pain and how pain is a necessary part of life. You only know happiness when you know that life is painful. And along with serving as a teacher, pain also teaches us what we're made of in terms of what we can handle as a person. I also described two different types of pain: clean pain and dirty pain. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, stop this one. Go back and listen to it, because this week I'm going to build on that topic and teach you how to process pain. So go back and listen to that episode first, then come back to this one. Also, I am teaching a free class this Thursday, July 21st at 1 p.m., just a few days from now, about how to process pain. I want to invite each of you to join me so I can teach you more about this topic and help you with the pain that you're experiencing. The link to register is in the show notes, or as always, you can go to my website, jenzingmark.com, to sign up. This week, I'm going to build on the things that I discussed last week, teaching you about how to process pain. All of us experience pain at regular intervals in our life. And because we're all humans having a human experience, our brain is constantly seeking pleasure and trying to avoid pain. That's how it thinks it's protecting us. And as I discussed last week, our goal is not to cause ourselves unnecessary, dirty pain, but learn to deal with the clean pain in our lives in healthy ways. What I want to do today is to help you learn how to process or deal with the pain that you have in your life instead of avoiding it. Negative emotions are painful, and most people would rather do anything they can to avoid feeling them. This is a problem. Pain itself is not dangerous, but our fear of pain is. And when we are afraid of feeling pain, we do other things to buffer against the pain. Often we turn to food or drugs or alcohol or shopping or work or anything else we can find in order to ignore the pain that we're feeling. These temporary distractions only prevent the process that needs to happen in order to let it go. Okay, so when a painful situation happens in your life, something happens and it triggers pain for you. And immediately, many times we don't make sense of it. It's just an automatic feeling of pain. And we feel that pain in our body. The vibration in our body causes thoughts that are excruciating to us. I'm going to give you some steps today to break down this process of feeling pain and processing pain so that you can handle it in a healthy way and learn to process it and let it go more quickly and easily. The first step is to acknowledge your pain. When we feel pain, we make a choice to avoid it resist it, react to it, or process it. When we choose to avoid our pain, we pretend that it isn't there. And in essence, we're lying to ourselves. And this never works for very long. The truth is, avoidance causes pain to get buried inside us and fester. And the more that we avoid it, the more that we have to avoid it. I've described this before as trying to press a balloon below the surface of the water. And the more we press down on it to avoid it and resist it, the more pressure builds on it. And then it comes back up even more forcefully. For example, you might eat instead of feel your pain. And then you might get upset that you ate when you weren't hungry. And then you might obsess about your body or your exercise routine. And all of these tactics keep you from addressing the real cause of your pain and just multiply the symptoms, such as weight gain and frustration with yourself. The next thing you might do is avoid it. So when you avoid feeling pain, you do other things to try to feel better immediately so you don't feel the pain. So you may eat food when you're not hungry or drink to dull your senses. Either way, you're going to have negative consequences from overeating, drinking, or even shopping that just add to the pain that you're already feeling. And it doesn't go away. The pain that you're feeling in your body isn't going to go away just because you avoid it. Another thing you might do is resist or react. If you resist or react to your pain, you may yell at people around you, blame or hate or rail at the world, or argue with the injustice of it all, or lie about it or embellish it and say that you don't have any pain or that you feel nothing at all. You might act out on it or fight against the pain. You might yell at the person you believe caused your pain. You might give them the silent treatment, or you might talk about them behind their back, or you might even take more drastic measures against the person you believe caused your pain. This may help temporarily because it releases a little bit of that feeling in your body, but most of the time, those attempts only backfire by upsetting the other person and then causing you more negative emotion. When we react from negative emotion, we almost always get a negative result. It's usually uncontrolled and unthoughtful. And ultimately, the fight against the emotion is a losing battle. The anxiety speeds up that feeling that you're already feeling in your body, the painful emotion, and it creates even more intensity. So instead of doing all of those, I want you to choose to process it. This would be the second step. So, first step, acknowledge the pain. Second step, process it. This is the healthiest option for you. And it really just is another way of saying choose to feel it. When I say process, I just mean choose to feel the pain. We're so reluctant to feel pain on purpose. We tell ourselves that feeling pain is a bad thing because it feels bad. But this really isn't true. When we allow ourselves to just feel the pain in our body, we see that it is manageable, that it can't do any long-term harm like avoiding and fighting. Both of those cause long-term painful consequences. When you just sit with the painful feeling in your body, there isn't a long-term consequence. You just get to feel it right now. You just have to be with the pain right now. Even if you can't make sense of it in your mind, just feel it. Start to pay attention to what it feels like in your body. Watch it and notice it, and then acknowledge it to yourself. Say, I am processing pain over this breakup, and this is what it feels like. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to do anything with it other than just acknowledge this hurts and I am processing this pain. Notice any desire that you might have to react, resist, or avoid, and then say it out loud in your mind or write it down. Don't act on it, just say it. I want to eat, but that won't help. Or I want to react, but that won't help. It's not worth it. Talk to yourself and acknowledge the feelings that you're having if you're having the desire to react, resist, or avoid, and tell yourself the truth. That won't help. It's not worth it. So every time you notice that desire, say to yourself, this is pain. This is the pain I'm feeling, and this is part of my journey. Allow the painful vibration in your body as you wash the dishes or drive the car or talk on the phone. Just notice the heaviness that you feel in your chest or in your stomach. I actually want you to try to feel the pain. Pay attention to where it is in your body. Is it heavy? Does it move? Does it just sit with you, or does it come in waves? Just identify the feelings that you're having in your body, the less fear you will have about feeling it. And sometimes it feels good to lean into it, to cry, like I described last week when my oldest son left home and it felt like my heart were being ripped out of my chest. It was a clean pain and it felt good to lean in and cry about it sometimes. I remember in the early days of my separation and divorce, there was so much sadness and heaviness in my body. And many times I would just cry in the shower or when I was working out, and it felt good. There was a release that felt good, and I felt better after crying. So don't stop yourself from releasing those emotions. And if you don't feel like crying, take some deep breaths and just sit with it and acknowledge it, that I'm feeling this pain right now. As you do this, you will begin to see that your thoughts about the situation appear more clearly. It may take a few minutes, it may take hours or days or even weeks, but let it take as long as it takes. Don't force it. Just keep noticing what you notice in your body and your thoughts. The third step is expressing your thoughts. I want you to write them down. Your thoughts will begin to appear in your mind, and there may be a lot of them. Write them all down as they appear. And some thoughts may seem innocent, but they could be very painful, like, I deserve better. That might seem empowering, but check the emotion they create. Often it may be one of resistance and pain. That's why it can be really helpful to write down the thoughts you're having and then try them on one at a time. Don't try to change your thoughts at first, especially because there can be so many thoughts. Just get them out of your head and see them and acknowledge them without judgment. Notice the thoughts that you're having that are causing you pain. Notice the emotion that it creates in your body. For example, let's say you're experiencing pain from a breakup. You may have thoughts that are like this: I don't like him anyway. He was a jerk. He was cruel. He was so mean to me. I was going to leave anyway. He shouldn't behave that way. Who does he think he is? Most likely, this will be incredibly overwhelming. Seeing all the thoughts and the feelings they create might, take your breath away or bury your heart with very heavy emotions. Just allow yourself to feel the feelings, feel overwhelmed, and still function. Continue writing down all the thoughts that you have about the situation. You may have more, like, I am sure he's lying about me. Why does this stuff always happen to me? I'm sure he's telling everyone else this is my fault. I just want to love him. I hate being used by him. I deserve better. He is a liar. I hope a truck hits him. We all have crazy, bizarre thoughts at times, okay? Don't judge them. Just write them down. Get them out on paper. The fourth step is I want you to direct your thoughts. I want you to write down some of these thoughts that I'm going to share with you. First, this is happening for me, not against me. Another thought for you to choose: this was always going to happen this way. This is for my highest good. Nothing has gone wrong here. I have so much to learn by staying open to this. Other people get to be whoever they want to be. These are some very healthy thoughts that I want you to choose to think about the situation, about any situation that you're dealing with. This is where the empowerment comes in coaching. When you direct your thoughts to just be open, when you direct your mind to be open to these thoughts, it can be so helpful. And then I want you to question yourself, question your thoughts. The fifth step, how can I use this? How is this situation perfect? What can I do that comes from peace, is for me, and is not trying to change or fix anything? How can I accept this situation with grace? Okay. I just want you to question yourself, question the painful situation that you're dealing with. After you've been able to process a thought without reacting to it, then you can own it. The sixth step, owning your pain. It is yours. Now, if you didn't do all of this initially when a painful situation happened, let's say the breakup happened, and now it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days afterwards, and you have overeaten and overdrank and reacted and lashed out because of the pain, it's okay. Let's start now, wherever you are. It might not be ideal, but it's okay. Begin where you are and choose right now to process the pain that you're feeling. Okay. All of those unhealthy things that you've done, they're in the past. You can choose right now with the first step that I have given you, which is choose to acknowledge the pain and then go right through the steps. It doesn't matter what's happened before. First step, acknowledge the pain. Second step, processing the pain. Start just feeling it. Then you're going to start writing it down. You're going to write down the thoughts that you're having. Step 3, expressing your thoughts and writing them down. Step 4, direct your thoughts, direct your thinking with the thoughts that I've given you. Nothing has gone wrong here. I have much to learn by staying open to this. This is happening for me, not against me. And then step 5, question yourself. Challenge your mind to find how this is perfect for you. How can you accept this situation with grace? What can you learn from this situation? And then move into step 6, owning your pain. It's okay if you didn't initially choose to process it. Start where you are right now, okay? And accept the pain that you're feeling. Go through the steps. Accept that you are responsible for your pain. You have created it in your mind, and you can learn so much from also creating the relief in your mind. I want you to forgive yourself if you did react or avoid or resist. It's okay. We're all learning and growing. And if you are listening to me today, then you're just on the early journey of starting to process your pain in a healthy way. So don't judge yourself, forgive yourself, and accept yourself for whatever has happened in the past. Be proud of the fact that you want to take ownership going forward and that you are the only person who can help relieve the pain that you're feeling. If you created this pain in your mind, you can also relieve this pain in your mind. Okay. So then after you have owned it and accepted that this is the pain that you're dealing with and that you're responsible for working through it, I want you to invite yourself to let it go, to just release the pain. And it may take several times of going through this process of all 6 of these steps, but what you will start to notice is that it really does get easier. You will process and release it. And the further away you get from the situation, the more perspective you will have as you pay attention to what you're feeling. And one day you will notice that you can release your grip on the pain. You can allow it to let go, to be released from you. You can stop reacting and resisting and avoiding. And eventually you can stop processing the pain because you no longer have it. While it is a little bit uncomfortable at times, exploring your pain is the way to raise your self-awareness. By understanding more about yourself, you will know how to deal with similar situations. And you will see that life is pain. Experiencing pain is part of the human experience. So if you get better at processing your pain, you're going to more fully live into your human experience. Okay. Hopefully, now you realize that physical and emotional pain may not feel good, but the bad feeling of it will help you learn and grow. And it makes the sweet moments in life even sweeter. The gratitude even more sincere when you really feel peace and gratitude for those happy, fulfilling moments in your life. To have a happier, more successful life, you don't only learn from success or accomplishment, but also through pain and failures. It is in those moments that you learn how to do better in the future and to cope when those painful moments reoccur in our lives. Learning how to tolerate pain, especially the emotional kind, is a valuable lesson. And accepting and feeling pain makes you human. There is no weakness in that. Weakness only comes when you try to blame others for your pain or expecting blaming others to alleviate your hurt. You know, there's a saying that says holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting your enemy to die. We all know that doesn't work. Okay. If you learn to follow these steps that I've given you here today and process your pain, I promise you are going to feel so much more peace and relief in your life when you learn to process your pain in a healthy way and move on from it. So if you're dealing with pain in your life, if you have some dirty pain that you're stuck with and you're not sure how to get rid of it, or if you're just dealing with clean pain and it's heavy and you want help processing it, I would love to help you with this. If you get what I'm saying here, and maybe you struggling with the trials of divorce, to feel anything is appropriate your journey. I would love to help. You're confused about anything that I've said, and to get all the want a little more help. There you'll find a free download at jenzingmark.com. Happier thoughts to help you today. Processing this and pain. You can sign up and join me for my upcoming free live class here this week. Want to dive deeper into this, we're going to talk more about processing pain, and I will walk you through all of this steps. Just the tip of the iceberg. I will do some live coaching on it, and so much you will see how effective I would love to work with you when you allow yourself to feel and process any feeling. It's so much better. Thank you guys so much for being on this journey with me. And I'd love to hear about how it's going for you and if this is working for you. So email me at jen@jenzingmark.com and tell me how this is landing with you and how it's working in your life. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great week. Bye, y'all. Are you struggling with the trials of divorce? There is a path to find joy in your journey. I would love to help you. Go to jenzingmark.com to get all the info. There you'll find a free download to help you start thinking happier thoughts today. And you can sign up to receive my weekly newsletter. If you like what you've heard here and want to dive deeper into this work, sign up for a free mini session with me. This is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. There is so much more. I would love to work with you and be your life coach.